So I've been asked by a few people now to explain a little bit more about the genesis, if you like, of Clarity First and what brought us to bring it, to create it and bring it to market. Well, frankly, the story is it's from my own needs, and I've been in the data and analytics and insight space for over 30 years now. And it's always really important to me that you understand exactly what the challenge is you're trying to solve in the first instance. And often, particularly when I've been doing maybe some data strategy work, one of the first things I'm trying to do is talk to a number of different people across an organisation, and to gather different views from frontline workers, from managers, from different sort of horizontally across the organisation. And really, when that comes down to it, it's something that I've been thinking for a long time. Is there's a real power in terms of that interview and they're being able to listen and collect the real information and the value and understand the themes. But there's a huge creativity where your experience comes to the fore, which is actually understanding what to do with it once you've got the data. And that can take too long sometimes to manage because people are busy. And I've had experiences where you've gone in and you tried to do a piece of work and you were originally hoping to get the discovery done within 3 weeks, but for whatever reason it takes 2 to 3 months. Just because people are busy, their willingness is there, but sometimes it's harder to actually, in reality, to get things scheduled. So in that respect, that was one of the reasons I wanted to build a tool for myself that would be a conversational AI tool that I could build that was expert in the interview process, and then to use that tool to be able to create a solution and the analysis and the synthesis that also brings true expertise together. And on that basis, that's why I went about creating Clarity First. So actually what you see here is an example project of one example data set. It's not real. But what the value for me was to have something where you can follow a fantastic scientific methodology in terms of how you do this, but to be able to do that at scale and repeatably. So if I can just introduce you, actually, one of the things that really powers what we have is we have a team that works behind this. So when we built this, we were very keen that we built a solution that is an AI conversational solution, but it uses very focused and very specific roles for different elements and different agents within that process. So we have a discovery agent that is an expert and is trained to focus on discovery. So bring in best practice in terms of how to do discovery and actually follow in Socratic method. And we incidentally call that agent Socrates. And then we have a series of agents who are managing analysis, and they're doing different things and different roles. But again, it's following a scientific process in terms of how they pull everything together. And then how we synthesize those findings, how we then look for external validation. And within that process, the external validation is looking for sector-relevant use cases for the same problem that you're trying to solve. And we don't stop there because we recognize that the need then to apply a serious level of scrutiny on the results. So we have another agent that is then back-checking and validating the findings and the recommendations that come from that. But where that then brings you is it brings you to a point when you have results that you can use yourself. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to do something that puts me in the hot seat and enables me to be able to look at the results. So I have, for example, again, this is an example sample data. It's not real, but very quickly, this is agent generated from AI interviews that actually identifies what are the things that matter, what are the things you need to focus on, what are the actions you need to focus on within the first few days. I'm not going to go into the details in terms of the synthesis, but there's an awful lot of information that might be in there. Similarly, from the organization, you've got change readiness. And then this is the bit that I think is really powerful as well, is it goes off to find relevant, as I mentioned earlier, sector relevant use cases. So in this particular issue, it will find a use case which is, this is a fictional nursing home. It will find examples that are relevant for that specific use case. So that's really powerful. And all of this is editable. All of this is at your control, and all of this are things that you can then use to add your secret sauce on top of that to provide excellent consultancy and strategic services for your teams, for your clients.